Oh. Hi, I'm Rusty Parks. I'm taking a break from reflecting on Joni's last sermon to talk to you about Family Promise at the Kirk. I want to talk about three things today. What is Family Promise? How has it been affected by the COVID-19 crisis? And why and how should you help in the future? So what is Family Promise? Well, imagine that you're homeless. You don't have any place safe to sleep tonight. Now imagine that you have your children with you. Unfortunately, that's the reality for many families in Wake County and across the country. Family Promise is looking to provide services and help to those at-risk families. You may think of Family Promise only as the emergency shelter that the Kirk helps in providing, but they do a lot more. Family Promise provides financial and career counseling for their clients. They also have transitional housing. These are apartments that are managed by the Family Promise organization and provided to families at lower rents. While they're paying these lower rents, they can save money for a transition into permanent housing. You probably want to know more about how the emergency shelter works. It's a brilliant idea that Family Promise has here. Over 20 churches in Wake County participate in this. 4 times a year, for a week at a time, we convert our Sunday school rooms into bedrooms. And volunteers from the church provide all the services and staffing for this shelter. What about COVID-19? So how has COVID-19 affected Family Promise? Well, we're all self-isolating now. So Family Promise has had to discontinue the emergency shelters they normally run because the churches are closed. Instead, they're housing the families in their transitional apartments. They're having to put multiple families in one apartment, but they're getting by. The churches are still volunteering to help. We're still providing meals, we're delivering them to the families, but we're doing that with the minimum amount of interaction for the safety of the volunteers and for the safety of the families. As you probably know, the Kirk just finished our late April hosting of Family Promise. Thank you to the volunteers who went out shopping for the meals and delivered them to the families at the transitional housing apartments. Also, thank you so much to all of you who donated. We put out a call for donations, and I am thrilled to report we received over $1,000 in donations. Family Promise can really use that money right now because their costs are much higher now that they're having to operate everything out of their apartments. So Kirk, thank you for stepping up. We really do appreciate it. Finally, why and how should you be involved in Family Promise in the future? First, the why. My Sunday school class, The Seekers, are currently studying a book by Richard Rohr. In the book, Rohr points out that we meet God and serve Christ in all of the people that we meet and serve in the world. God is found in each one of those people. This is something theologians, including my favorite current day theologian, call panentheism, God in everything. Now the nuts and bolts. We host again in late August. There are several things that you can do to help. I'm going to give you a quick list of the volunteer positions we have. Meal providers. Hope Brown is our meal coordinator. Thank goodness for Hope, because I'm terrible at cooking. Hope coordinates the meals. The volunteers bake the meals at home, bring them to the Kirk, serve them with the families, eat with the families, get to interact with the families, do the cleanup, package up leftovers, and they're done. Driving the van. This one's very easy. It takes less than an hour. In the morning and in the afternoon, every day, we make a van run from the Kirk to the Family Promise Day Center just off Western Boulevard. All you do is show up, get the keys to the van, drive up, and drive back. The van is not a giant bus. It's just a regular van about the size of a standard pickup truck. Overnight host. This is my personal favorite. You simply show up, get a meal, talk to the guests, and go to sleep in the church. You say you can't sleep in church? Just think about Joni's sermons. You know, we're worshiping virtually right now, but soon we'll be back to in-person worship. When we do, I'll be looking around the sanctuary during Joni's sermons, assuming I'm not personally reflecting myself. I'll be looking for those of you who are displaying the talent that would make you a great overnight host. So, thanks for listening, and please sign up for Family Promise next time we host at the Curve. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get back to reflecting on last week's sermon. It worked great for me. Will it work for you? In the words of my favorite current day theologian, I'm just saying.